All right, hey you guys, it is TsubakiSwagg, and I'm coming to you with a review of Parasyte, episode 13. Hello, sadness. In this episode, I was so freaking happy that a new Parasyte episode finally came out. I was so freaking excited. Oh my god, I didn't know what to do with myself. Because it feels like it's been so long since the Parasyte episode came out, even though it's only been like 2 weeks. But still, just the fact that the Parasyte episode came out and all of my other shows have gone off on me. It seems to be a trend. All of my favorite shows keep going away. But it's okay though, because I know a few of them will be coming back. But this episode is so freaking awesome. Oh my god. So we finally find out that, like, first we see, like, Shinichi, he is just living his life like he has been living for the past while. Like, Kana died in the last episode, so everybody either thinks he did it or they think he's way too calm because, like, he was the first person that found her, so most of them know that he was probably might have been there when it happened or he got there right afterwards. So most people don't understand, like, what happened to the other Parasyte and why she died, why he was there, why was he the one that found her, blah blah blah. And of course, Satomi, she is so, like, she honestly, I can tell she honestly doesn't know how to feel at this point because her and Shinichi were supposed to be going out on a date to go see a movie when he went to go see Kana, and that was when she died. So she, like, she even says at the end, she was like, you going to see Kana was more important than us going to see a movie. She probably feels like he cared more about Kana than he does about her and all this kind of stuff. And it really sucks because Shinichi actually told Kana about, like, Migi and everything that happened and why she was able to sense him because he has a parasite inside his body and all this kind of stuff. And I don't even know if Kana even saw it in the end, if she actually saw Migi, like, actually saw Shinichi. But technically, Migi really didn't even do anything. Shinichi was the one who took out the parasite. But, like, I feel so bad. Shinichi honestly doesn't know what to do at this point because he feels himself not being himself, but he's not quite on a parasite level either. He is kind of like a medium. So he's like, he finds out that he's being followed by this man, and we find out that the man that's been following him, at first my first thought was that it was Shinichi's dad. I don't know why, but that was my first thought. And then as the episode went on, they showed that actually Ryoko is the one who, I guess, hired him to follow Shinichi. I don't know what their relationship is, but she is getting him to follow Shinichi. And Ryoko had her baby, and she has that baby trained. Like, the baby was bawling, and she walked up to it, grabbed its head, and said, "Quiet," and the baby stopped crying. And then she carried it like it was a bag of garbage and laid it in the bed. And the woman who's watching the baby, like, freaked out. I would have left my purse. I would have been out the door. Wouldn't even cared about the purse. The purse would have still been sitting on the floor right there. But, so I highly doubt that maid's coming back. But Ryoko was just talking to the baby, and she was like, I know, like, she wants to do experiments on it, but she's going to wait until it gets older. So I honestly don't know how to feel about that. But we see that the parasites are, like, congregating together, and they're finding, like, places that they can feed and all this kind of stuff. And the man that got taken out by Shinichi, the parasite that got taken out by Shinichi, was feeding outside of their zone, and that was why they were like, we were happy that he was killed, blah blah blah, and all this kind of stuff. And I was just like, really? I honestly don't understand. But then, like I said, we see, like, Shinichi, him and Satomi keep going back and forth. Like, Shinichi was trying to talk to Satomi, and Satomi wouldn't talk to him because Satomi was stopped by Tachizawa. I can't remember how to pronounce her last name. But she was talking to her, like, pretty much putting the thought into her head that Shinichi was being way too normal. Like, he was being way too calm. Like, it was unnormal, unnatural for Shinichi to be so calm when he was the first person who found her, and all that good stuff. So Satomi just started distancing herself, and then when she noticed that he was distancing himself after he had found out that he was being followed and this man was watching him, and Migi almost killed the dude, and Shinichi was like, I refuse. Like, they went through this whole ordeal where Migi was trying to kill this man because he had seen him, and Shinichi was like, I'm not going to kill another human being. That is not what I'm going to do. I'm never going to kill another human being. And Migi just went to sleep, and then Shinichi like realized that after all this had happened, Migi was going through the camera and he saw that the man had been following him for a while, and he doesn't know why. Like, this man knows all these things about them, but they don't know anything about him. And he was like, now there's a possibility that if he was a police officer or even in the government or anything, that they are finished. Like, Shinichi is going to become a lab rat and they're going to cut on him for the rest of his life. And Shinichi just got enveloped in thinking about all that stuff, and while he was in school, his teacher told him that if you don't want to be here, then go home, and Shinichi went home. Like, he just got up and left, and everybody was looking at him like this dude really just left. Like, he just walked out the classroom and went home. And this is when they saw the man watching his house again, and he was trying to stop him, but the man ran away. And Shinichi was just so confused. And then later that night, he got Murano to meet up with him, and he was talking to her, and she was like, I don't understand what was so special about Kana. Well, not necessarily what was so special. She was like, I know that the day that we were supposed to go to the movies, you went to meet her, and I guess it was really important that you wanted to go meet her. And she was pretty much saying that she doesn't understand what was so special about Kana, why he blew her off to go see Kana and all this kind of stuff. And she was like, I don't understand. Why don't you tell me everything? Why don't you talk to me? Just talk to me. You were so strong. You were so freaking strong. But it's hard for her to watch him sometimes because he's so empty now. And just the fact that he refuses to tell her anything is what's pushing her further away. And Shinichi so wants to actually tell her what is going on with him, but he knows that Migi would literally kill her if he says anything to her. That was the only reason why he told Kana, was because he told her while Migi was sleeping. So there's so many feels in this episode. I feel so bad for Shinichi because you can tell that he genuinely loves Murano, but he can't tell her anything because right now Migi would take her life if he told her anything right at this moment. And Murano is getting pushed further and further away, even though there's nothing he can do about it. And then he's being followed, and there's a possibility that it might come out that he's a parasite without him being able to tell Satomi. And it's just so much is going on. But this episode was freaking awesome. Oh my god, I'm so looking forward to next week, and it just came out. So yeah. As always, I would love to hear how you guys felt about this episode. How do you feel about the way things turned out? What do you think is going to happen to Shinichi and Migi now? How do you think things are going to turn out with Ryoko following them now? And how do you think things are going to turn out between him and Satomi? Just everything. So, as always, please remember to comment, thumbs up, and subscribe. It helps me out a whole lot. And this is TsubakiSwagg saying adios.